Well, the misery continues for Scottish clubs in Europe. Not a great night, reflecting on the four games in the European Conference and the Europa League. Let's start first and foremost with Rangers. Jagiellonia Bialystok 2, Rangers 1. And this was not a good result for Rangers. And really, when you listen to Derek McInnes after the game, he must have been raging with the way they were defending. They got off to a great start. Lovely ball in from Robbins. Okay, rather fortuitous with the touch of the Białystok defender into the net for an own goal. But from there, you're thinking, okay, they can build on that. But the two goals that they lost, the cross into the box all the way through, nobody touched. I think Fernandez might have got a touch on his boot on it, but it ends up in the back of the net. Nobody defending properly. So that was a nightmare. The second goal, equally so. And Derek McInnes must be looking and thinking about Fernandez. He slips, they get the shot in, and then the second attempt is in the back of the net. So I still think Rangers are good enough to get the win at Ibrox and, get into the next stage of the Europa League. But nevertheless, it's not a good night for them, not good defending, and I think that's Rangers' big problem at the moment, because Derek McInnes mentioned at the end of the game, it was like Rangers from last season, and he has to work out a way to try and bolt the back door. So that was Rangers. What about Hearts? Well, I thought it was going to be a difficult night for them, but I didn't see 6-1, did you? I thought it was maybe going to be 3 or 4. But Hearts can't defend. That's them. They've lost 12 goals in 3 games in Europe. And I think Robbie Vranckens get major problems. The back end, they just cannot defend. It was one calamitous goal after another. Okay, they got one back. They did hit the bar with a header. But the penalty in the first half was just laughable. They gave away a penalty. I mean, what he was doing, pulling the player, the Benfica player, I do not know. But at the end of it, 6 was an absolute nightmare. And Benfica, by the way, are a top drawer outfit, but you expected better defending from Hearts, and it's only going to be more misery next Thursday for them at Tynecastle. They will be looking for a Conference League playoff match. What about HJK Helsinki? Motherwell, well, full marks to Alfred Johansson's side, because they didn't panic. They just waited, played some nice football in the second half, and they got their just rewards with a penalty, and it was dispatched into the back of the net by Tawanda Mazwanisi. And then the only criticism I've got of Motherwell was Timo Pukki had 3 Motherwell players around him. He was able to turn and he was able to lash the ball into the roof of the net. But nevertheless, I think Motherwell have a fighting chance of doing something back at Fir Park next week. HJK Helsinki, they will still be dangerous. And then to Hibs, I just get the feeling that Hibs are on a knife edge, the fans, with David Gray waiting to rip his head off. They got a good goal, brilliant flick by Owen Elding, who's turning out to be a really quality signing for them. He had a lovely flick goal, put them in the lead 2 minutes later. I mean, just basic defending. Kerr lets his man run off him, and he just puts the ball in the back of the net. It was woeful defending. The Hibs fans were not happy. You could sense the tension inside the ground. But then right at the death, Warren Ahora with that goal, rather fortuitous, I have to say, it came back into his path a yard out, and then he just managed to stab it beyond the line into the back of the net. So Hibs got a 2-1 win. I think Hibs are going to be under pressure when they head to North Macedonia. I think Shkendija are well capable of knocking them out. I hope I'm wrong. But of the 3 teams, of the 4 teams, in fact, that were playing in Europe, I think Rangers have got a chance, once they get their act together again in the return leg, to win at Ibrox. I think they'll do that. Hearts is just a misery. Motherwell, I think, are more than capable at Fir Park of just edging this one by a goal. And then Hibs, I think, will be up against it. So I think we'll get 2 that could be, with positive results in Europe next week. 2 that I think, one of them totally out. The other one, I think Hibs are up against it. So give us your thoughts in the comments section. I want you to tell me what you think about Scottish football. I was really worried about it because I think we are on a downward trend. And we have to address that. And I think the league structure is something we have to look at. And of course, getting more and more better Scottish players on the park. Not a good night for Scottish football. What do you make of it?